money. Hey yo, excuse me, Mr. Journalist. I wonder how you make your headlines in the press release today. Although I read the news every day, but I'm really still getting confused now. And I just wanna ask you some questions. Oh, is it based on money? Is it based on presidency? Is it based on technology? Is it based on war? Tell me, we are legal. Oh, we are legal. There is no job, no money for us. We are legal. We are legal. There is no job, no money for us. Don't take our coverage, the rainy season coming soon. In the ghetto, all the houses are full of niggas, nowhere to stay. Come and see the widow, living in the street with our children. Since the daddy went to war to fight, he never lived to see them. The children have no shelter, oh, the children have no education. The children have no one to call their friend, the children have no food to eat. We are legal, oh, we are legal, there is no job, no money for us. We are legal, we are legal, there is no job, no money for us. How many people do you love? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you love out there? Most especially women. No job, no money, no trust, no glory, no help for women. That's what we know. How many people do you love? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially women. No job, no money, no trust, no glory, no help for women. That's what we know. We are legal, we are legal, there is no job, no money for us. We are legal, we are legal, there is no job, no money for us. You don't know stories? You've been writing stories for rap for ages. Keep writing stories about people who not too concerned. We got a lot of people in the ghetto, people on the block, people in the street. If y'all know what I know, follow me. I'll take you to places where people are suffering. We got lame people, blind people. I mean, people that in need, man. People too much in need. Come on, yeah. How many people do you love, man? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially women. No job, no money, no trust, no glory, no help for women. That's what we know. How many people do you love? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially women. No job, no money, no trust, no glory, no help for women. That's what we know. We are legal, we are legal, there is no job, no money for us. We are legal, we are legal, there is no job, no money for us. I can't stand no more, I cannot go to school, no more. I can't stand no more, I cannot go to school. My people, where you at? Where you at? Working for your stomach, stop slipping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands. Come on, come on, come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta whip us some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. people fool us, so the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you lie? There's citizens to grieve. You see, we just tell you. That's why we voted you. When you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not. I don't want to trust. My people don't want to hope on. My hope that I have been broken. Telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the doors that they said they were full? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray? They have enough of time, but they stay, they delay. People suffer. No work, but people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they fall. You got nothing to show, nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go around. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you lie? There's citizens to grieve. You see, we just tell you. That's why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. Everybody get our own era.
as the kingmaker in presidential elections, has given a new reason why he will not support the re-election of President George Weah. Longtime Senator Prince Johnson says in the 6 years since he was elected, Weah has failed to bring investors to Liberia, thereby worsening the country's unemployment rate. Supporters say the president has focused on the country's development through his government's pro-poor agenda for prosperity and development. The new development comes after Johnson says a high-power delegation from the ruling CDC urged his party not to field a presidential candidate because it will hurt President Weah's re-election chances. Johnson tells me the delegation included several top ministers, including those from the Ministries of Finance, Labor, a former Minister of State, and the chair of the ruling CDC.
We have a candidate, standard bearer, to run directly. And they are saying, no, we should not run. We should support Mr. Weah. If we do, it's in the front to Mr. Weah and all kinds of talks. And we say we are a party registered under the law of this country. And our support from 2017, October, it ended October 2022. So there is no more document binding. And during this 6-year period this year, we have observed that what we expected in the past is not what we see on the ground. We believe, as one of the Liberian people believe, that being the world best, European best, African best, all the best, and his election would have attracted investors to Liberia to create jobs and alleviate the suffering of our people through the investment and employment. But since his election, the world has abandoned us in the sense that no investors are coming, and what we're doing in the country is just ratifying loan agreements all the time, and you cannot build a country based on loan and internal revenue within private sector. So things are very difficult in the country. The unemployment rate is escalating. So there's nothing encouraging to give Mr. Weah second time. That's why we decided to quit.
Senator, help me. You said a delegation from the ruling CDC came to see you. Who are the members on that delegation?
Well, the Minister of Finance, the former Minister of State Presidential Affairs, the chairperson of the CDC, Mr. NIMBA, Professor Wilson Tata, EPA Director General, the Minister of Labor, Minister Charles Gibson, and many others.
Senator, how do you say there's no development? As recent as, I think, earlier this month, the president dedicated a hospital. I see pictures of roads being paved.
Jimmy, that's a different thing. I'm not saying there is no development. There are some level of development. I am saying the high rate of unemployment is a major concern. When investors are not on the ground to provide jobs, that we are alleviating the sufferings. We're talking about jobs for our people. The jobs, we put food on the table. The jobs, we have our people, those university graduates every year. When they graduate, no job, their degrees are hanging on the walls, and they continue to increase the number of unemployment.
Let me ask you, Senator, in the past you have supported President Weah. And this is the reason why I think people accused you of selling your NIMBA vote for money. Some people are saying you are making all this noise because now you want the government to give you more money.
That's what I hear people say, but they are on the wrong side of history. That is not my nature. I don't know of any market where they sell votes. They say these things, but it's not true. If I form an alliance with you, I collaborate with you, and I find incompatibility, coupled with that, the agreement expires, I can no longer renew that agreement.
But why not support one of the parties? I mean, how certain are you that your candidate might win?
We are open to all parties. We are working with ANC. We are working with the Unity Party. We are working with the newly certificated party, EFCC. All of the parties on the ground, we are working with them. So one party cannot win with all the other in the country. So you mean all hands on deck.
Senator Johnson, it is always a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much. Happy.
What they have done, I can tell you what Honorable Parker did and what she did not do. And many people looking at her as a female in politics. Let be polite. There's nothing about being polite. She just who the students say she is. She just who. And what do we need? We need to vote them out. We need to vote them out. They are not credible. They are not reliable. They are not trustworthy. They are proving that they are unable to govern. They are unfit. Thank you.
Before I come to Jupo and then Pia, let me play Chupa, I want to hear your reaction from, how will somebody in Bond County react. But let me play the video. I see people requested I will play. Let's play it one or two more times. Then.
And what they have done, I can tell you what Honorable Barker did and what she did not do. And many people looking at her as a female in politics. Let be polite. There's nothing about being polite. She just who the students say she is. She just who. And what do we need? We need to vote them out. We need to vote them out. They are not credible. They are not reliable. They are not trustworthy. They are proving that they are unable to govern. They are unfit. Thank you. What Honorable Barker did and what she did not do. And many people looking at her as a female in politics. Let be polite. There's nothing about being polite. She just who the students say she is. She just who. And what do we need? We need to vote them out. We need to vote them out. They are not credible. They are not reliable. They are not trustworthy. They are proving that they are unable to govern. They are unfit. Thank you.
Before I come to Chupo and then Pia, let me play. Chupo, I want to hear your reaction from, how will somebody in Bond County react. But let me play the video. I see people requested I will play. Let's play it one or two more times. Then.
And what they have done, I can tell you what Honorable Barker did and what she did not do. And many people looking at her as a female in politics. Let be polite. There's nothing about being polite. She just who the students say she is. She just who. And what do we need? We need to vote them out. We need to vote them out. They are not credible.
How's your relationship with the president?
I think my relationship with the president is okay. We're working together. We're making the impact that we should. And I'm grateful to be sitting here as the first female vice president of the Republic of Liberia. If you look at relationships, and each of you sitting over there, I think most of you are married. If you look at relationships, there are always ups and downs, but our interests remain singular. That is not about my personal interest or about the president's personal interest. It is about what both of us can do together for Liberia. And I think that is the relationship I want to talk about. And it is strong. We're working. We're doing what we can. And I'm just grateful to have such an opportunity.
Thank you. Your political relationship, to be exact, together since 2018. I saw you crying upon his acceptance, that joyful moment. You took your handkerchief, you clean your eyes, you pass it over to him. He did the same. It was, listen, that is touching. It have gone down in the Guinness Book of Record. That relationship, is that the same relationship we are talking about?
And Stanton, let me be frank, and I don't think I've ever said this on international wire, but I love George Weah with all of my heart, and that's the bottom line. If I didn't believe in him, I would not have given up my destiny to support his, which is what I have done. And so I believe together, in spite of all of the things that have happened, and I always say, President Weah and I have never argued. He has never raised his voice at me. He has never been abusive to me. There's times that I'm a little bit irritating and I keep pushing issue, how I can harass you. So now, let's do the thing here, man. Let's do it like this. And maybe, he may have a different plan of action or want to do it another way. Then you say, VP, lead it here, and, are working on it. But I think the two of us, as two individuals, we have a very good relationship. There were times that others intervened in areas that caused additional hardship, but I can never sit on the international or local media and say that the president and I have a difficult relationship between the two of us. I think we've worked together very well, and I'm his deputy. My job is to assist him in the discharge of his duties, and I try to do that. This morning, I had a small conversation with some little children who came to visit me, about 27, maybe from 8 to about 15, to get my Christmas message. And one of the little girls asked me, what is the most difficult thing you face as vice president? And I said, let me be frank, because I think transparency is good for all of us. And I said to her, I came from being senior senator for Bond County. I was the head of the county. I pulled things where I wanted it to go. I dragged it to places that I thought was better. And I was a leader. I did that for maybe 15 years. Then I come into a space where I'm vice president and I'm second in command, and I have to wait. I have to serve. Even if I have an opinion, I have to discuss it with the president and get his view on what he wants to do, because he's the leader here. And I think that was the most difficult thing, remembering that I'm second and I'm no longer first. But I think the Bible tells us, and it's something I believe, that he who maybe wants to lead one day must also serve. So you get a chance to taste both parts of the leadership spectrum. And so this is someone I care about deeply as my leader. I think as we go towards 2023, the three political parties are supposed to be finalizing whatever issues we have amongst ourselves and get ready for the nomination process in February. And then we'll begin again to seek the mandate of our people. We'll go across the country, give our platform, talk about the positive things we've done, and ask for that second term. So I think the relationship between the both of us is okay. It's a working relationship. And I've learned a lot over the past 5 years, being second in command to someone like President George Weah. And as I said this morning, I'm indeed grateful.
Thank you. Together, my last question, and the guys will come in. Together, since you guys took the Rim of Power in Liberia, 2018 inauguration, today is the 24th of December, 2022. But one more year, if everything in place, but one more year, October 10 will be election. We can say what we want to say, Madam VP, but it's election year. The question is, together, you and President Weah, point to some of the things you guys have delivered for the Liberian people. Some of the
do business in our own name and pretending to be a political philanthropist, but the work that we've done to strengthen democracy in this country, to hold the government's feet to the fire, is appreciated by the Liberian people. That is why they want us to go to the Senate, and we are prepared. We have a senator who has not, even as representative, did not put any bill on the floor, has not made any significant contribution from the legislature. So we need to replace him, let him go and continue to run his war buses and his community college and his businesses, and let a true servant. I studied government and public policy, and I have a degree in that, and we are prepared to go and bring real decent leadership to the Liberian people through the Liberian Senate.
Now, because when I extended you the invitation and we're talking and you subsequently confirmed, I started to do a critical, comprehensive contextual political analysis of your bid. And then I said, for example, unlike Abraham Dawes DeLong, who won with a united opposition, for example, the opposition is disintegrated now. This is so because Cummings is on another hand, Joe Bwakayo support is on another hand. Henry Costa is being accused of helping to break up the opposition. I'm sure you've heard this times without number. Are you worried about a consolidated, opposition to push your candidacy?
Not at all. Not in the least. There are people in the Cummins camp that would not vote for me because I don't support Cummins, and I have been very firm in my criticism of Mr. Cummins. But there are also lots of people in the Cummins camp who will support me. Because why they support Mr. Cummins, they believe I should be the next senator of Maserati County, because they know what I would bring to the Senate when elected. But here's why we will win. Over the last 11 years, clients, we have, in our own name, in our own right, built a very formidable following in this country. And the Liberian people, independently of a political party or a political leader, there is a critical mass, quite a huge pool of people who believe that we should go to the Liberian Senate. Then we have the strongest political ally in the United Party, in Joseph Boakai. And Clarence, again, I will refer to these polls, which some people would say are not scientific, but we all know how those polls were when we won successively in 2019 and 2020, in the Maserati Senate race. Most of the polls pit Joe Boakai over George Weah, and they put Mr. Cummins in insignificantly, very, very minute position, significantly minute position. And so why I don't want to, put Mr. Cummins down, the Cummins people who would not vote for me would not be that many in order to undermine my chances of winning the election. So I have no fear whatsoever. I think we have a broad-based coalition of people from various walks of life and political parties that will support us, and we will win the Senate race in Maserati County.
Are there fallbacks in the event you didn't win the elections? You stay in the media business or government job?
I don't want to work in the executive. When Mr. Boakai wins, not if, when, I do not want to work for the president. And I have my reasons, and I've said it.
You're on record?
Yes, I am on record. I don't want to work for the executive branch of government. I trust Mr. Boakai, his impeccable record of service, his integrity, which is unimpeachable, but I don't want to work in the executive branch of government. I want to go to the legislature where I can maintain my independence and be able to work in a way I think would best suit the Liberian people's interests. And so if I don't win, which is a big if, I would continue to serve the Liberian people in various capacities. There are other things I'm working on in the United States, and I hope that those things can materialize so that I will bring back the benefits, the dividends here, to continue to help my people. So just in case we didn't win, it would not be the end of the world for me. But I'm convinced that this is my time. You see, there's a time for everything, clients. I ran for representative in 2017. It was not my time. And I think God knew that it was not my time, and in his infinite wisdom and grand design for my life, he wanted me to be preserved from going to the legislature at that time so that he would elevate me further. And look at me now. I'm much more matured, I'm way more educated, credentialed, and I'm ready. Greater exposure, greater leadership skills. I've come a long way. I'm still a work in progress, as we all are, but I believe that I've made a significant personal development and growth. And I believe this is the time.
You see, upon your arrival to the country, you spoke to your supporters at the Unity Party headquarters, and I follow you very well. And in that speech, you said you are willing to give up your senatorial admiration, for the election for the sake of Joe Boakai. And I was just thinking, Costa, what would be that scenario that will lead you not running but allowing Joe Boakai to go and become president?
If the time that I would have to put into the effort and time into getting JNB elected president was threatened, was undermined by my own effort to become senator, if it came to that, if I couldn't balance it, I would prefer focusing on helping Joe Walker become president as opposed to focusing on myself becoming senator. And the reason is simple, because I am in this race for the Liberian people. Becoming senator is a good thing. It's a good thing for me personally, and I think it will be a good thing for the people of Montserrat, Liberia, because of the things that I will bring to the Senate. But what is even more quintessential important is having a decent president in the mansion who would focus on the Liberian people, who would travel only when it is necessary, who would not waste our money to go and see his son play football abroad while the people are languishing in abject poverty. That to me would be more important. So I would willingly give up my own ambition at this time to help ensure that Joseph Yoman Boakai becomes president, not because he's Joseph Yoman Boakai, but because of who he is and what he is and what he can do and will do. That is what I meant.
Now, you know, when you go to the country, and if you were to walk in the streets and at intellectual centers to gauge the views of Liberians about your entry to the country, people, they are multi-dimensional views. There's one group of people who say, hey, wait, Constant that we know, you know, when he was ever coming to the country, this is not a crowd we expect, you know. And others say, no, wait a minute. The road, probably he didn't want too many people going at the same time, but this guy, no matter liking him, he still have got something. The crowd. Now, one of your very good friends, I guess, Tai Wongwe, he wrote something, and I want to read that and ask your opinion. He wrote a few days ago something he calls 10 politically inconsistent truths, and amongst them he says, my brother Constant overestimates his influence, and yesterday was a humbling example, and also shows that running in 2023 against Joseph may be detrimental to his political career. How do you react to his perspective?
First of all, Tai is a good friend, but that's Tai's opinion. When was the last time anybody returned to this country that was received by over 1,000 Liberians? Over 1,000, and I'm just being modest. Over 1,000 human beings. I was not here to organize anything. It was just my people who organized that. We were not having any rally. We were not having a protest. Just people went to the airport to receive me. Over 1,000 human beings, perhaps 2,000. I'm gonna say. When was the last time? Tell me. And we didn't pay people. We didn't pay anyone. When was the last time thousands of people walked from Vamuma all the way to Broad Street for a politician? Fine, you know. The people in this country. What is that? That is true, genuine love and support. This was just people saying, welcome home. How many people traveled? When was the last time Tai traveled and 10 people went to the airport to receive him? He has never had that.
He's not running to be senator.
No, but guess what? No, he is a political person. He's running to be representative in NIMBA. Why aren't NIMBAians going to the airport to receive Tai Wongwe? How many times any of these politicians had that many people receiving them? The point is, my brother, that is not ordinary. It is special, and I'm humbled by it, and I'm honored by it. So Tai's opinion is feckless, is illegitimate, and it has no weight at all.
Before we move on to talk about your support for Boakai and why you think he's the right man for the job, what are some good things you're willing to say about President George Weah, for example, if there's any? And what could that particularly be? It's a tough question.
No, not a tough question. I'm thinking.
You're thinking?
I'm thinking. About what good he's done. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't find any. I just thought.
Are you serious?
No, I couldn't find any. Perhaps you know some that I don't know. But nothing. Mr. Weah is an extraordinarily blessed man. Clarence, you and I were born in poverty. We come from humble beginnings. As is Mr. Weah. To have amounted to this level, the leader of a country of 5 million human beings, is an extraordinary blessing that most of us will never have. To abuse it the way he's abusing it, to treat the people like trash.
You think he's abusing it?
Oh yes, the president is ungrateful because what did he do to deserve this? Play football? Kick a ball around? Mr. Weah kicked ball. Deba kicked ball around. Oliver McCoy kicked ball around. What else did George Weah do to deserve this? But Mr. Weah is ungrateful to the Liberian people. You see, Weah does not have an attitude of gratitude. He believes he's entitled to it. And everybody else who plays football should feel entitled to it. Mr. Weah is a bad president. He's a bad leader. He's a bad human being.
Okay. Probably we'll come back there before we open the telephone lines. Henry Costa is the head of the COP. He's our guest this morning right here on the OK Morning Rush on 99.5. Smile FM in Zouedru Grand Jide County is relaying this show. You are a very staunch supporter of former Vice President Joe Boakai. You've not hidden your intention. You've said this time with our number, even when the CPP was together, you say you would have preferred Boakai over Cummings and over anybody. Now, what advantages does former VP Boakai you think have now that he didn't have in 2017, for example? In essence, what has changed in his favor that you think he will win these elections?
That's a brilliant question, Brother Clarence. One of the key things that has changed is that we don't have Mr. Salif in power to organize and preside over the elections. Mr. Salif stole the election from VP Boakai and gave it to George Weah because Mr. Salif was not comfortable with Joe Boakai as president for two reasons.
That's perception.
No, that is not perception. I know things that, I'm sorry, with all due respect, you do not know.
I mean, obviously.
I am a politician, you are not. And I'm privy to certain things. So that's one thing.
And so I wanted those kinds of perception to be accompanied with facts.
I will never give you a piece of paper.
That election was probably, I don't know, rigged in Weah's favor or what?
Mr. Boakai has advantages today, several advantages. I just name one. Ellen is one. Ellen being out of the picture is one. Number two, George Weah is the biggest campaigner for Joe Boakai.
You think so?
Yes. I am not the biggest campaigner for Joe Boakai. Boakai is not the biggest campaigner for Joe Boakai. It is George Weah. It is because of George Weah corrupted. Boakai has tremendous natural support among the Liberian people. But that support has increased thanks to George Weah's dismal, reckless conduct as president. And when the people look at George Weah and look at Joe Boakai, they see a sharp contrast between two opposites. On one hand, a reckless, insensitive, incompetent, corrupt president, a decent, great man of integrity, humble, honorable Joe Boakai, on the other hand, experienced, and they want the opposite to George Weah. And those attributes are found at this point in time only mostly in Joe Boakai. That is the reason why the majority of the Liberian people now gravitate to Joe Boakai than to George Weah or to the other people who are running for president.
I know we'll come back to Boakai. I don't want this slipping out of my mind. I should have asked you earlier, but a few days ago, or probably a week and a half ago, Costa, you wrote on your official page that the Liberian economy was doing very well and better than Ghana's. But
no, that's not exactly what I wrote.
Okay, let me conclude the question. Then you come to do the correction, whatever. You wrote that the Liberian economy was doing better than that of Ghana's, but you later proved that.
Here come the chairman of the COP, Mr. Heron Petro Costa, in Buchanan City, Grand Bassa County. Currently at the Memorial Junction. Heron Costa is in Buchanan City right now. Costa is currently in Buchanan City at the taking a tour of the Christmas week off Buchanan City, Grand Bassa County. This bit of Listening to the political leader of the Liberia Party saying that we can allow talking to citizens
auditing WFP, that my government made me announce that the money was given to. What happened? My state government came to me and said, yeah, you announced it. I said, but the Constitution is very clear that monies that come from state coffers will have to be accounted for. I was blasted out and told not to talk that again. And it's in the Constitution. You don't give money, state resources to anybody. Even the president's speech that's coming out, he has to explain. So what do we do? I was blasted out. I'll let it go. Does anybody know any audit report or anything from the 30 million? The answer is no. The $25 million mop-up. And when the issue came, I was told, I was the deputy minister, I was told to tell the country that WFP is an international organization, therefore they cannot be subject to audit. I said, but Tyler Brentford money, I can not audit. But again, like I said, I was blasted at. 16 billion mop-up exercise. The 16 billion, sorry. I went to Nathaniel Petrie and had a clear explanation of that money and what had happened. And that our country's currency in circulation was about 17.5 million. So it was not possible for the 16 billion to get missing. Then me, our country money gone. So I got to learn that there were extra money printed and there was that money that got missing. And it was proven in the two reports. Did we dwell on that? Not much. The $25 million mop-up exercise. What did we focus on? We focused on 17.5 million. But nobody focused on the fact that the two reports clearly stated that the money was taken outside of the banking institutions and changed on the street. Now listen to this. The reason was that there was no money in the bank, I was told. The banking institutions did not have the money. That Fula people, Indian people, and other people were keeping the monies in their houses and changing it on the street. Now let's get one thing clear. How do you change 17.5 billion US dollars? I'm talking about the quantum of money, meaning that kind of money, US dollar, cash money. How do you change it outside? And you change it here. Now let's come to the auditors. As government spokesperson, I have always been the one to ask questions because I have always been the one to sit behind the microphone. And James Goody, I hope you're cutting that clip from 4 hours, just as I show it today on my stuff. You go to 2 and then up to about 5, right in between there, you will get it. You go, they will call you, for example, and say, oh, we got some issue, yada, 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 X, Y, Z. And as a spokesperson for the government, it's your job. If they tell you that, oh, the auditors died this way, as a spokesperson, you can't go say, oh, I will talk my own thing. That's not normal. But let's start with Bate Niswa. The day before Bate died, I was one of those. If he saw 1,000 people, I was one of those that he saw. I was in my girl's fence when he came. He came with a damning report, which he told me about. I'm just going to make it fast. It was a folder. The under part was blue, but they're plastic. And the top part was clear plastic. But the under part was blue hard plastic. And he told me it was an audit report. He confided in me that what was in the audit report was damning. Very damning. And I will always have these big guys to go and see my girl. Because the place was always packed to capacity. So I'm one of those who was privileged to go in, come out anytime I want to. So I went and told my girl that Bate was there. And Abate say he had an audit report and hadn't. Mage say let him wait. Mage was dealing with people. I know what Abate told me concerning the damning things that were in the report. One had to do with the port. So when I went in the second time and Mage could not see Bate, Bate said, "My man, I'll come back tomorrow." I said, "Okay, then I'll just tell Mage you'll come back tomorrow." That was it. The next morning, I went to pick up Bate. I went to pick up Nathaniel Bagel, and we normally do our stretch right in the yard. We go for a walk. We went for our walk, and while on our walk, we got the call that Bate had passed away. We were both shocked. How it happened? They said he fell from up was the initial report we got. I was asked to go and announce stupidity. That's how we call it here today. And I said, no, there has to be a report. The police have to give us initial findings on what happened, what didn't happen. We have to know. But Mage was very distraught. He was very disturbed at that news. We did not end our walking. We came back. Mage does not normally go with his phone. So again, when that happened, we came back trying to put together the pieces. It wasn't making sense to anybody. Why would Bate Niswa go to Calabash and get drunk to the point where he can't walk? Who drove him home? That question today cannot be answered. When Bate left his house to go to Calabash with the friends, who did he leave behind? When he came back to his house and he climbed the stairs, who carried him upstairs? He walked? If you are that drunk. But Bate, who is Bate? Who got his own house? Don't know where the bathroom is. The story we were getting from the initial report, they said he woke up to go pee-pee and he used the side door from where he fell. Who was there to know that he wanted to go pee-pee? How did they manage to know he was going to pee-pee? Those were questions that could not be answered as spokesperson for the government. Why, when Bate fell from that elevation of the door to the ground, how did Bate's body appear out the distance that it appeared? As spokesperson for the government, and you have a smart journalist, these are questions that you have to answer. Because when you put together the pieces, it does not make sense. He had lived in our house forever. No matter how he was drunk, how did he get up? Who put him in the room if he was that drunk? Okay, fast forward. I don't want to waste my time. Let's go to Gifty. May their souls rest in peace. When asked again, I had similar questions. Who was the first to speak? The president. What did the president say about them? Apparently, they were making love in the car. That threw the whole debate from the reality on the ground. And people who know about it, I'm challenging them to speak to it. Once the president said that, we didn't know where to start from now to talk. But there were questions. Here are some of the questions. What were Gifty and what he were working on, the other auditor? They were working on a very damning report from different entities, including the port being the main one. Now, what happened? According to government explanation, they said, oh, the man called a woman, this and that. As spokesperson for the government, I had a couple of questions to ask. And I saw that people were chasing me like, you want to know too much and stuff. But the truth of the matter is, if two persons sat in a car up Broad Street and the windows were up and there were no air coming in somehow, under the carbon monoxide, how is it possible that somebody sitting in the car will not know that they are choking? Two persons sitting in the car will not know, all two of them, that they are choking. How is it that they will not even be able to bring the window down? How is it that they will not even open the car door? How is it that two of them will sit and die in the seat with the seat belt on? How is it there will be unexplained circumstances to this death? I was chief spokesperson. I am supposed to answer pressman question. What happens if these questions come about? So again, when the government say Bate dropped as a result of falling, that's the government's stuff. And that he went out with friends to drink, and they came back and he went upstairs and he was sleeping, he woke up to go pee and he dropped. That is it. The two auditors, if you were a press person or a spokesperson, you going to stand in front of people and tell them, these two people sat in the car. Even though they were choking, they never wound the glasses down. They never opened the door. They just sat there and died like fools. And both of them died at the same time. Will he be able to explain that as a press person? So if Goodell got my tip, let him play it. I can say to anybody, there were circumstances that I, as deputy minister, that I sat behind the microphone or stood behind the microphone. There were things I had to grapple with. And yes, I told Kev, you will know how to die because the time is not far. For example, I'll go with the last one not to bore anybody here. On the county tour, Ledger, who was given $5,000 for the government information team, he took Kwame Weeks, split the money with him from Lena, and they left me behind. Miguel asked me to come along. Miguel felt that I was not treated fairly. I'm the Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs. How is President going on a county tour that you need a man who's supposed to talk to the press behind? So Miguel said, my man, ride with me, let's go. We got in Miguel's car. We went on a trip. In Ganta, I repeat, the foreign minister, everybody lining up to go to the president, came to Miguel's car, tap on the window, and say, Fagon, I need to explain something serious to Miguel. So let me ride with Miguel, please. While we're going, I will explain it to him. It's very serious. It's a national issue, blah, blah, blah. So I look at Miguel and said, he said, you can ride my car. Ride my car. Yeah, right there. Just go ride my car. So in Ganta, I got down. He's a senior minister. I went to his car. It was a white Toyota Land Cruiser. And the seat there in that thing is hard like plank. I sat in the car. But for some reason, I don't know what came over me. I know I wasn't feeling comfortable. There was a guy sitting in the front seat. I don't know if he's EPS or what. I don't know. But he was in the front seat. So I sat for a while. And you know they can be lining up the cars in the way and manner in which they should proceed in the convoy. Then I said, no, I can't do this. And I got down. Because I was not comfortable. I took a ratting car. And I left the key to Banga for my way to Monrovia. The next morning, I get a call from FINA telling me that one EPS officer case said. The first thing I expressed was shock. I was very shocked. I'm like, hey, man, you know, you feel bad. But what happened? How case said? Y'all got to go announce that the EPS officer case said. Now I told her, no, madam, it don't work like that. The EPS officer case said, how? Why? Where? And she said, y'all just go to... She just cut the phone off. She was angry. And I was trying to tell Kev, have you been in my shoes? The first news that came out, EPS officer case said.
Yeah, you
okay,
go talk.
Fine. How?
We don't care how you talk. Just go
then
talk.
later, the story started to evolve and the story started to change. Now he was going mentally insane, and then he posed a threat to the president live, and then the Arabia, yada, yada, yada. Have you been in my shoes? There are questions today that need answers, and by the grace of God, those answers will come one day. And
Fagon,
yes,
thank you.
it.
Thank you very much. I have some lawyer friends texting me because of what you are saying today. They believe that you are reopening the file.
Mm-hmm.
They believe that you can serve as a family state witness to the investigation when they reopen the file. Are you looking to do something like that? Will you be willing to testify to what you believe, what you know, what you have heard?
Stanton, what I say here tonight is what I'll stand by. I was one of the last person who saw Bate Niswa, and I don't believe Bate went out to drink, get drunk, can't even get back to his house. Based on what Bate told me and what I saw in Bate's hand, I believe that Bate Niswa was murdered.
So my last question before I bring the rest of the folks in. If you think, and I was just focus on THINK, if you think that they were murdered, if you think that somebody killed them, to be blunt, if you think somebody entered Batiyan's home and killed him, put those people in the car, then I will ask you, give me one good reason. I know you have explained a lot why you think they were murdered. Just one. The main purpose of why you think and who you think may have done such a thing.
No. I will not say who I think. No. Let the investigation produce that person.
So why you think
That's
so?
my thought. Now,
so why you
as
think
to
so?
why I think they were murdered, because if Bate can look at me and tell me that the report in his hands was damning, and the only person he could share it with was McGill, and not just put it out there, it means that they have uncovered massive corruption that, in my opinion, only a man like McGill could have seen. Secondly, let me tell you something that happened. I've been in that situation all the time. On one separate occasion, the little guy from EPA, what's the labor name? Not labor per se, but he's the deputy. If you recall, there was a spillage from the LPRC from a tanker that caused serious environmental problems with killing the fishes and what have you. I will get him because I know somebody will soon put it out. The report they got from that oil spillage, imagine ship offloading, and people are like, they forget the tank was like to this level, and you wouldn't be small boat, and they forgot and start falling, and everybody's standing by the set. The whole thing leaked in the ocean. It took days to clean it out from our port. The report there was so damning. Only one person, Randall Dobayu, that's why I like the librarian. Only one person he wanted to talk to about the report. And you know what? When we went to the meeting, the LPRC boss, the lady said the place was too hot. She could not stay. When those guys had opened up, we went to the meeting at the EPA's place, and she said the place was too hot. She could not stay there. She could not be in. She had to leave. That's because what they were putting out there. And I'm sure one day these reports will come out for people to see. There was massive damage caused as a result of that spillage that the companies could have paid millions of dollars for. But then,
so since then, let's go back to the issue, and guys, you can comment.
And that's what I'm coming to.
Yes.
The reports I believe the auditors had. For example, we were bragging as a government that there were over 2,000 ghost names of teachers. Good day, then we confirm that to you even right here, that were wiped up from the Ministry of Information, Education, payroll. 2,000 plus ghost names. I made that announcement. The question was, again, when Bate talked about education being one of them that day, was who was eating this money? Because it was a new government now, remember? So they didn't come up and say, oh, this and that. It was Bate them from IAA who conducted that investigation and found out. So who was collecting the over 2,000 people salaries all along until that fateful day? There were so many damning reports that came out of the administration. And if you notice, the auditors die within weeks of each other. They die within weeks of each other. So it tells you the real story. So I believe they were murdered because of what they knew and the damaging effect it would have had on the administration. Thank
you very much. Thank you. Dr. Rich is saying, Salamatu, Kev Hassan, Timon and George, and Dr. Peabody. Can you please join in with your two questions?
I don't have any questions. I just have a comment, and my heart goes out to the families of the auditor. Every time we speak about them, it's kind of reopen, the wounds of losing a loved one. I only wish that our security system apparatus can just educate, train more the investigators, the police on things like fingerprinting analysis, lie detector tests, how to ask good investigative questions, setting up timeline, all of those kind of forensic, things that people in other parts of the world can use to analyze cases. I wish that we could train our security system to do that. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. Salamatu, your two questions?
No, I actually just have one question, and maybe it's a comment. Again, my heart goes out to the family for reopening this. But have they also thought about doing their own independent investigation as to what happened? I mean, autopsy is one thing, can tell you, how the person died, but an investigation will be able to explain how, what happened that led to maybe to the person's death. So that was just a question. I don't know if anybody know the family.
Thank you, Salamatu. You want to say something
The,
to that?
the family, as in the case of Gifty and the others, asked for an autopsy to be done. There was a lot of skepticism about the autopsy and its reports, but they did ask for an autopsy. Like, okay, for example, Mr. Ines from the bank is somehow related, not somehow, he is related to McGill's wife. And the circumstances surrounding his death, which happened around the same time as the auditors, and the explanation that was given to this day does not make sense. Still does not make sense. But again, like I said, there are people in Liberia who wish they could fight, but are afraid that they will suffer the same fate as their relatives. And that is the fear that most people have. And that is why they're quiet. Because sometimes they really want to go all out, but they can't, because they just feel like nothing's going to come out of it. And if they push it, they'll die.
Thank you very much. Kev Hassan?
Yeah, well, I think we should pay attention to this, statement by Minister Fagon. I think we should.
All right, folks, before we go to the conversation, this is a special appeal. This is a voluntary advocacy on our part that we will go to work and come to sit there for 1 hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours, all in an effort to deliver our country from bad leadership, ugly to the extreme. And so we don't really want anything from you for the most part. However, the simplest thing you can do for us is to share the show, my people. When you share the show, except Facebook is lying to us. I'm not too sure Facebook is lying to us because we can prove it. When I share the show, I see it. And when you share, I see it too. Anybody view or watch the show, we see it too. That's how the system is set up. So this is a special appeal. Let us do it the Jehovah's Witness way. One bring one. If you can't do two, because it is so easy, super, super easy to share the show. Because we cannot have 100 people watching the show live or 200 people, sometimes 300 people watching the show live. And we only get probably 25 shares. Even the comments can be more than the shares sometimes. And by the time the daylight comes in, our time, the viewership has already gone to 3,000 to 5,000 views. That is a significant number. I'm not saying you are not sharing, but we're just asking you, please, for the sake of our country, for the sake of all of us interest, because all of us, the way you're doing it, the way we're doing it, we don't really care how somebody's doing it. All of us, this is my own conviction. All of us, Liberians, here in America or outside of Liberia, and in Liberia, we all want our country to be better. The funny thing, and this self-motivation, me and myself, this money motivation, material motivation, wealth that people don't work. They don't work for. and they kill other people for it. Oh God, it is sad. Sometimes I want to cry, but I can't cry because if I cry, I will not, carry on the show. It is so sad. It is so sad. So my people, I beg you. I came late because I'm running late. I'm supposed to leave work at 9 o'clock. Most of the time, I don't leave at 9. Except I cut down, and if I cut in, I got to have somebody that the kind of work I do. So that is the reason why sometimes we are late. We're trying to work on it. My body is in training due to career change. I just managing. We can't shut it off. If we shut it off, if we give up, it will not be good for us. And that word give up is not part of our portion. No, it's out. So you help us to help the people of Liberia, to deliver Liberia from the hands of the demons, evil-minded people. Can you imagine Murphy and his sister married to Nathaniel McGee? That one could not still spare that man. They say kill the man. Therefore, all the report. So the whole question, who killed the auditors, the 4 auditors, this is my answer in addition to what Eugene said. All of us in this country, even when you are in Liberia, my people, is this not the same thing that led to the war? The people take all the resources. Not only that, they're taking all the resources from the mouth of children. Like the former American ambassador to Liberia said, I got the clips here. Linda Thomas Greenfield, the current U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. So corruption kills. And it is true, my people. We're not making it all. You're here from the house's mouth. Eugene know the people. Eugene know the people. I don't care what kind of issue you got with Eugene. Trust me, if Eugene have said this in Liberia, they would have killed him. Y'all know the story of the people. This is just so easy. Whether you went to school, you didn't go to school, just out of common sense. You don't have to live in this country. You don't have to live outside of Liberia. You don't have to live. Look, any part of the planet you live in, alone you get common sense. It's just so easy. George, we are commissioned the death of these people. That's the man that every single day go to church and portray peace. This man is evil-minded, my people. This man is for living evil. George Weah and his cartel members are living evil. Look, let me tell you something. Samuel Doe is way better than this guy. Okay? Charles Taylor is way better than George Weah. These two people, the two governments at different times were under attack by rebel forces based on their own ugly doing too. This government, there is no instance or instances that this government has ever been under attack by rebel forces, dissident forces, or whatever you call it. This government came through the balance of the people. The people gave them this power here. They did not come like Charles Taylor. They did not come like Samuel Doe. They came through the ballot box. It is real. Liberian people in their majority voted for them. Is it a bad thing the Liberian people did? Even elementary students will just understand this conversation. How can you have an executive protected service personnel on the contact tour with a president? The person gets shot multiple times in their heads, and somebody is saying they killed themselves? Hey God! When this country going to get delivered? When this country is going to get delivered from these, murderers? from these criminal-minded people, from these money-motivated human beings that they can do anything, including killing people, just for money. What are you going to do? I feel sorry for our country. Sometimes I don't sleep when I do some research. Something that we get, we can't even pull it out yet. Just because of what we do, people send it to us. Sometimes some information can creep on you. Look at how they killed Princess Cooper. Fine, beautiful girl. A promising young woman. They just slaughter her. Somebody carry audit report. That's what I let America. Those who are charged with that responsibility to do audit, they are not accountable to nobody. They do audit, they publish it. That's what John Maru was doing. The former Auditor General, because he went to school right here. He got his experience right here. That's why United Nations through UNDP interviewed him, vetted him, and they recommended him for appointment. And Ellen did. 2 years. The other 2 years, he even finished, Ellen fired him. These people got killed because of audit reports. That's the answer. They got killed because of audit report. They got killed brutally at different times because of audit report. Like our sister saying right here, Teresa, they will be held accountable one day. You remember on the same platform and other platforms, American ambassador, the current American ambassador accredited to Liberia, Michael McCarthy, he visited key anti-graft institutions, including LACC and Internal Audit Agency, GAC, National Election Commission, and the rest of them. And I'm very positive Americans don't let things go like that. Because they support these institutions. I mean, those institutions in our country. George Weah commissioned these people death. He did. How can chief of protocol to the president, chief of protocol, executive marshal, they are nowhere near security business. They are nowhere near security business. Finger bundle. You're listening to Eugene Fagon. That's not me. Can you imagine that? Finger bundle call Eugene to mandate him to say what she said to him. Oh, one EPS guy came say you'll kill him. Whether we learn Fagon, we learn Fagon. Fagon that be more male. Fagon that not be more male. Fagon run away. Fagon got dismissed. Whatever we want to say about Fagon, if Fagon has said what he's saying now, he would have gotten killed. Evident by what they did to the other people, just because of all the reports. My people, in as much as we are talking, we need to pray for that country. We got to pray for Liberia. We are here, but our people are on the other side. We got to pray for that country. The demon forces are too many. For people like George, we have to be the leader of chaos. I trust Fagon. It's no question. You asking me? I trust him. He was in the corridor of power, especially as Deputy Information Minister. How can somebody who is married to your sister, they all gang against you and they shot you? They use motor vehicle to hit you just so they kill you. So the audit reports cannot come out. That's what Linda Greenfield said. Before I open the line, I'm going to play her clip. My people, everything we are doing every single day, Liberians in Liberia and outside of Liberia, we really need to pray for our country. We need to kneel down I know we've been praying, but we need to double it up. We need to double it up. It is sad. It is embarrassing. It is scary. It is scary. Look, this creep on my body. That you look at your friend human being under Article 50, the functions of the executive is vested in the President of the Republic of Liberia, head of state, head of government, and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia, 3 in 1. The president is the only political trinity according to this constitution, my people. The president is the only political trinity in our country. If the president decides today or tonight that you're not going to live, by the end of the night, you're not going to live. You are not going to live. That is how it is. But what is the fundamental and primary responsibility of the president? To protect life and property and to defend the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Do we have that kind of presidency in our country on the basis of history since 1980? The answer is no. The very government that elected, the very government that the people elect, the very leaders, past and current, that the people elect are the very leaders that abuse the people, using that very power. Create uncomfortable environment for them on a daily basis. At certain level, kill children because somebody disagree with them. This is cruelty in high places. Barbaric and cannibalism on the part of George Weah and his indigenous looters. It is sad. Our country is in real trouble. The trouble have not ended though. They say they were coming for Joe, they carry all the windows. They say they were coming for Taylor run away. But we are still in trouble. Under the full body incapable. Less than 2 megabyte thinking ability. The occupant of the executive mansion. We are in trouble. Anything we can do at the ballot box to get him out, we need to do just that. In addition to asking our God to help us. The second thing I want to talk about before I go to that clip is the issue of university students booing at Joel Taylor, including calling her Tiffy Ro, as well as Hobo Joe. Yeah. I got that clip, but for some reason, if you don't know, this is a difficult work that we do every day. It is difficult. Sometimes we get this recording or video, we listen to it, it sounds right. Showtime, you don't even get it right. But don't worry, I got Prince Johnson right? The full interview, I got it. I will get that video overnight. Tomorrow, we'll play it. If I don't get it overnight, hopefully Friday, WhatsApp, you will get it full clips. Very interesting. I listened to Empty Kefasan after Showtime on Spoon Talk, trying to denigrate university students. But I don't blame Kefasan. I don't blame him. I blame Stanton Witherspoon that put him on that set as a result of family relationship. If this man truly went to good school, he will not say what he said. The democracy that all of us enjoy today, you know how much contribution the students of university put into that? To a point where women of that university got raped. Some of them got killed. Some of them got hit. Some of them disabled today as a result of advocacies to get to where we are. I would tell you for free. You can even be my family member. I will tell you the truth. I will not tell you sorry. I will not. If you leave with me alone, people will be made shame even in our local community. When people do wrong, they should be shamed. If possible, excommunicated. And there are certain churches in our community that do that. I know there are a lot of miracle churches now. They don't preach salvation. Growing up, we saw that happen. Certain people in the church holding position, or even you're not holding position, you are just a member, you do certain things, they advise you, you don't start, they excommunicate you. You don't go to that church no more. That good old days, we don't get it anymore. Joel been in the corridor of power as early as 28 years old. In fact, 27 years old. She just celebrated 60. According to the Bible, is that 3 score? Y'all let me know. I think so. She been in the corridor of power since she was 27 years old at the level of central bank, now central bank, national bank, from national bank, Charles Taylor, rebel, convicted war crime criminal, marry her, they start to live on our back. From that time to today, you were still in government. This is the same woman who was senator for Bond County for 14 straight freaking years. When she and George Weah won as president and vice president, where did she go? She went to that same Bond County and told all the chiefs and local leaders, hey, you ain't join CDC, you're fired. This is our time. Under their watch, she and George Weah, they call it free school, right? Go on university campus, even paint, they don't have it on the wall. That free tuition. You know what? The fundamental reasons why they carry that kangaroo free tuition, they wanted to silence the students, but it's not working. It is not working. Do I need any government to give me free tuition? What does the Constitution say? This book. If I'm not mistaken, Article 35 or 36 around that corner. The Constitution, 1986 Constitution says 25% of government of Liberia budget should go to education. That's what the law said. Under Article 60, 61 and 62 focuses on the presidency, what the president can do to be held accountable. Part of that is violation of this Constitution. Which are the institutions that are supposed to bring the president to book both houses in chamber? Do they have the audacity to do it? No, because they have been purchased, all of them in the president's pocket. And this is not the first time. This has been the way it is. We do not have any history of any legislature in our country that question the behavior, ugly behavior of our presidency. No. That's why I like this country. I don't care how good you are. The legislature, Congress can question you, can question your behavior. If possible, they will impeach you. Hey, God. Just so you know, let me let you know. So tonight, moving forward, I am coming up with my own brand of Have a Dream. That powerful message that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. sent out to the world and the American people. He sent it out to the American people and the world, and that dream, that powerful dream, has been achieved. Even evident by me being here. Countrywoman's son, countrywoman, and countryman from Lofa County, that I can sit here and I can be a manager for white people. That dream has been achieved. I am coming up with my own brand of that dream. And I will record it and play it on the set. It is sad for our country. I wish I had the power. Every single government official in Liberia will be booed and shamed in public. What the student did yesterday, to Joy Howard Taylor, they needed to do more than that. They needed to do more than that. And I challenge George Weah to enter that campus. He will never enter there. Some of our folks that sit on certain platform and they got no understanding of our political history. They do not even know their country and use useless words on university students to a point where they call campus-based political party. They don't even know what the acronym stands for. I went to University of Liberia. I graduated from there, and I'm grateful to my creator first and foremost. In the midst of all of the difficulties, all of the hard time, we got some reasonable education because we persevere every single day. When I got to the US and my degree got accepted, because university sent my transcript over here, and I went to school here, my first week I cried. How can somebody go to high school successfully, graduate from high school, go to University of Liberia, graduate, work at Ministry of Foreign Affairs for at least 8 years, you don't even know computer? That's the university just we are imposing about. Eddie Tansen was a little bit better. The late university president, Dr. Emmett Dennis, when he got there, all the books that were in our library, University of Liberia Administrative Building, majority were 1950-something textbooks. Trash everything. Whether they replaced all those books, I don't know. That's the university that George Weah is boasting of. That is the very university Joy Howard Taylor is boasting of. Joy Howard Taylor and her criminal convicted husband, they looted our country for 14 years straight. Because they had 90% of the country, according to media reports, sitting in Igbanga. And after election 1997 again, Chancellor won the election. But did he have a gratitude towards Liberians that voted him at that level? Hell no. Just Joshua. They have no gratitude. It's like these people are insane. They are insane. And Liberia was normal country. People like Joy were not even reach to the corridor of power in our lifetime. But the leaders have made past and current, they have made our people to live in abject poverty as easy as information is, they can't even get it. And I know the reason why a lot of people don't share, especially from Liberia, they don't have data. There's a man that talk about peace. There's a man that brag about loving his country. All the bonuses or discounts that lose that an orange heart, prior to them coming to power, they shut everything off. So the ordinary people don't get data easily. Because when they get data in their mind, in George Weah and Luther's mind, they will talk to us. They will call on the local talk shows and other international platforms. That's the man that say he loved the people. And he brag about that every single day. But this is a very man that commissioned the brutal killing of his own auditors, government auditors. We have to talk about it because the case is not closed. And beside that, there are so many things that are happening that still remain hurting a lot of Liberian families. Like Eugene said, y'all listen to George Weah, right? Somebody get killed. The first and primary responsibility of any government, any president, is to protect the people. The president come out and say they were having boyfriend, girlfriend talk. That's why they were in the car, two of them. Can you imagine that? That's how low we gone. That is how low our presidency has gone. It is serious. If you are in your low corner and you feel that this is not serious, it is more than serious. It is more than serious. Then this is about time now you don't have problem with Prince Johnson. If I were asked to tell you, I ain't got no fundamental problem with Prince Johnson. No, I don't have a problem with it. The very thing we see, look at Gifty, the late, may her soul rest in peace. Look at Sylvester Lamas, for example, with 2 babies. Someone that represented government at the level of LRA, civil servant came to America to represent our country. As bright as that woman was, they killed her in cold blood. Can you imagine that? The same thing that happened to Azevik to destroy evidence. His brother John Yumi, whatever John Yumi did, I don't know. Probably he got some of the story. Go visit. Yumi go visit Azevik, a renowned Liberian engineer from NIMBA County. Deputy Minister of Public Works. I think for technical or something like that. The brother go visit him. Charles did a call. Yumi. Yumi said, my manager go speak to the papa. I presume. But they had problem with Yumi. They didn't have problem with Azevik. Because 2 of them went there and they messed with Yumi and Azevik, that his brother, they're all from NIMBA County. They speak the same dialect. They will take the information out. So they slaughter 2 of them. What did they get out of that? Chancellor is in jail today. Primarily, not for the problem that he caused in our country, but because of aiding and abetting the rebels in Sierra Leone and Sierra Leone and their government and their ally, Great Britain. They took a bold step to hold every single individual accountable. We have refused to do that as a people. Because our government, past and current, they are all corrupt to their teeth. They want to keep us down. They want to keep us grieving. That way, they maintain power. Hopefully, we the people can reach to a point where we will revoke against them consistently to stop this madness. Where we will reach to a point where change will change them by force and take our country back. I will be ready. Tomorrow morning, when Joseph Barker take over, go back to the videos. Go to everything. I will be ready. If they seem to continue the thing we're advocating to change, if Joseph Barker take over tomorrow morning, and as old as he is, and he decide to do the same thing, we will do what we are doing. We will remind. He will be remanded. We're not going to stop. Every single night I go to bed 1:45, 2 o'clock. Because when we come live and do what we do, You know what we put in when we're not on the screen? You got to get the information ready. Sometimes we are challenged by our own equipment. To be honest with you, it is not easy to do this. It is a difficult job, and it is also dangerous. But you know why? We'll keep doing this. Because what? That country must change. And all of us Liberians, in and out, we need to put together to change that country. We elect leaders in our own Liberian way. Then for money business, for material thing, they kill their own people. They kill their own people. How much do we need to survive? Liberians? How much do we really need to survive? What is so about this ugly political hygiene in our country? That one man, one woman just want to take everything and the rest of the people, fuck them. I'm so grateful for the training my parents offer me. I'm not doing this because somebody gave me $1 or $2. I'm not doing it because somebody told me to do it. I'm doing this on the basis of my belief and my own conviction and on the basis of what I wish them with my own 2 eyes as 12-year-old child growing up in Lofa County. Our whole time, besides being in America, has just been traumatization, violence in our country. Some of us just survive by the grace of God. We're not better than anybody. Just survive by the grace of God. So we will not see anything good about our country. We will not even hold people accountable for their wrongdoing until we die. Every single Liberian should be asking themselves these questions. When our country going to reach to a point and say enough is enough and we can do better, all of us together. All of us together. To save this country. To save the people. To save our people. Should not just be about Army and myself. I know it been happening. Should we continue? I would say no. There must always be an equilibrium point in every situation. Are we having that? No. It is tough. I don't need to play the clip. I'm stopping right here. And you call. You have something to say? Call the numbers. You already got it. I'm going to post it. You don't have anything to say? You don't have to say anything. You want to use the comment section? It is up to you. This is sad for our country. The leaders will not change. Especially people like George Weah, our generational member. So don't feel ashamed. George Weah? Liberia has gone so low. Even the people are not even respected anymore. People living in fear, literally, and the country is now under attack. This is not a government that took over the country as a result of military coup or as a result of military, whatever you call it. This is a government that the people voted for in their majority in the runoff. And see the treatment. See how they treat the people. Almost every genuine thing that we decide to do or we do today under the watch of George Weah, they will come up with artificial contour. They fought Costa COP. They fought. They take the country money and give it to folks, induce them through cash violence, and they came away CDC COP. You all know what they did to those university students. Today, we that even in the media, we don't even know the whereabouts of Christopher Cecilia. It was 2 veterans that have to put money together and flew that boy outside of the country. Is that what we're going to keep doing? Then people want to question university students why they got to boo at the vice president on campus? These people are responsible for our suffering. In common sense. They don't want to put all their heart on us. They killed our people and they take our resources and they walk away with it. So the least opportunity we got, even if we can open our mouth and cause their mind and cause their power, we will do just that. Because they are responsible for our suffering. Joy is one of them. She no clean woman. You want to feed for her because of your gender, that's a business. The way the students describe her, that is who she is. She's a hobo Joe, and she's a thief. She's a thief. Not only economic thief, political thief, social thief, and everything you think about. And George Weah is no different from her. They are all the same people. You all remember Eddie Johnson said he called the student hooligans? When she was against Samuel Doe, at some point she got against Charles Taylor because Charles Taylor did not allow her to take over power. And Taylor said, monkey will not wear bamboo draw. Where she used to go, and she should go on university campus. The contribution, those of us that went to that school, those of us that read about that school, from Wilmot Bloody to today, the contribution University of Liberia have made when it comes to social, economic, and political development in our country, there is no single institution in Liberia that can even account for 5% of what that university have done through student advocacies. What they have performed for the growth and development of our country. You show me, your point that a single institution in our country that have done more than what University of Liberia have done. Students, I'm not talking about these Hurubaru government presidential appointees like the, how they call this other fool, Zawolo Nelson. It's a puppet of Joshua. I was on campus. I was right there. I went to the main campus. I visited University of Liberia Friendly campus. You go see it. Even the paint don't even show that university campus. They say that tuition is free. Don't give me tuition-free school. Even here in America, college education is not free. Even elementary to high school education is not free. They put system in place for real estate owners to pay that taxes. Those of us that own properties in America, real estate, we pay the police district and we pay the school district. That's how they set it up. That collection go through the state because federal government don't manage school down here. The state does that. The state, according to U.S. Constitution, where is it? Where is it? This one. Let me show it to you. This one. The state, the various states in America manages education and police protection with other stuff. They do that. If the government come to power and create opportunities for folks, I get a clip here from Joe Barker, Uncle Joe. It is not my own production. It is Dick Carter's production. I got it from him by way of Facebook anyway. Okay, it is not my own production. I will put it on one day to just play that profile when D. Curtis went to Liberia and visited with Joe Walker and the rest of the guys. People were in high school doing Congo people time. And they were promised jobs. Not job. Not singular, but plural. And Joe Walker even admitted to Ellen offering him job to go to finance. But he got another offer to go to LPMC when he was in college, University of Liberia. It can happen today, but they don't want to. The Congo people were accused of corrupting our system. Who bought Fender? According to my own research, that Fender property for University of Liberia was purchased under Turbo regime. Fender was purchased under Turbo regime. Over 400 acres of land for University of Liberia new complex because the population was growing. The main campus was built by a small population. After independence, I think 1953, around that corner. SKD that we talk about every single day, talk about our now the football party. SKD was initiated. That complex was already under construction before Samuel Kanyando then killed Turbo and they killed those people for nothing. Gali completed and put his own name on it. Y'all go do the research. I'm not a journalist. I am a political historian in my own right. Today, Fender campus, University of Liberia Fender campus does not even cover quite 10 lots. That lands about 400 acres. Imagine that size of land. And you are a real human being to imagine the vision of that man. That they kill and grab good people and put them on the light pole in the name of corruption. Today, where are we? That very government even did more than that. Come on, don't call me this time, man. Don't do that. My people, there are country people children. Country women, country men, children. That they don't want operating like that. Killing each other. Killing their own auditors. What the presidents, what they did, Samuel Doe and Charles Taylor. 1983, 1985. You name it, Lutheran massacre. Samuel Doe went on camera on state radio. If you consider yourself innocent, Nimbadian, you better get out. If you don't get out, when I get there, you will not live to tell the story. Gross violation of the Liberian Constitution under fundamental rights. What did the children do to be killed like that? The people that ran away from the people that told them that they were coming through the airfield. The rebels were coming, they went to God's house. Country that built on Christian principle. They went to God's house, 13th Street Lutheran massacre. President commissioned that brutal death. Liberians. People that they needed to protect. Charles Taylor did similar thing. But those times were wartime. Was it right? I said no. Today, we are being in peace since 2003 when Taylor left. Judy Bryant took over the country. Followed by, in fact, Moses Black first. After Taylor turned over to Moses Black turned over to Judy Bryant, and two of them died with frustration. Moses Black got beaten with iron sword by Charles Taylor forces. After that process, he died with frustration. Judy Bryant did not get beaten, but he got frustrated by Ellen, and he died. Okay. What is the size of the University of Liberia? The only so far public institution of learning. Because even TNRMA on GFK in the premises should not even be there anyway. Tubman University in Maryland, now it used to be Technical Institute that make it with university. They all fall under Universal Liberia. Those are the only, so far so good, 3 institutions, but they all fall under Universal. So it's a single university. Dokiati College of Medicine, I say university. How much it will cost the government to support that university? How can people go to doctor school, they become doctor, they can't even operate computer? I'm not talking about lab. There is no laboratory facility. Even business student ain't got no research lab. Before you talk about science student, that's a free university there. Go there and get out free. You don't get no job. You don't practice anywhere. It is free. We got the necessary resources. We got the necessary revenue. But these criminals, past and current, they continue to abuse us with our own resources. And Jua is no exception. Jua is no exception. If I have power, I would do something more than that to save the country. I'm telling you, I'm serious. And there are so many people that think the way I'm thinking. Eugene Fagon, thank you. Whether we like him, we don't like him, he's saying the truth. If you don't believe him, that's your business. Melvin Elliott got killed as a result of Judge Weah commissioning his death on his store in NIMBA County. He got shot. They killed him. Let hold it constant that he was a threat to the VIP. Let hold it constant. We ain't got court system. We ain't got police to investigate that man if he found guilty that he breached his own order of office to protect VIP. You shot the man multiple times and kill him. You forced his woman to say he committed a suicide, and that woman got to run away with 3 babies in some part of West Africa. And you say you are peaceful? You kill your own auditors. Your own auditor because they did their job. Because you want that information to pop up. But government is continuing with it. We'll get the truth one day. The same thing they did. Cabinet Janet did his job. Their constitution say the judges, the lawmakers, whatever they say in chamber, they should not be held accountable. They should not be entertained by any quasi-judicial system or in any competent court jurisdiction because it is part of their job. Just we have violated all of that. I don't care what we say, what we do, they will not understand it. All we are hoping for God first. Let God keep our life with good health, and let's go to election. October 10, 2023. It is mess with our election. Don't take it from my mouth. There are so many people who are so pissed, who are so hurting. When I listen to Sylvester Lamas, the way they kill his wife. Not only that they kill her, but the president said, Judge Weah said, she and Mr. Peter, another auditor that got killed, they were having boyfriend and girlfriend in the car. Hey, God! This is the man that go preach and use the Holy Bible to make mockery out of God. This is a leader. Liberians, we need to wake up from our slumber. We need to get out of our closets. All of us. Some of our greed, bigotry, and hurubalu, we need to put it aside. It's one way or the other to put forces together to get Judge Weah and criminal cartel out, or else we have no country in real time. We will have no country anymore. All right? I want to keep it there. The numbers to call, as usual, 267-938-2801. Tonight, no commercial. The WhatsApp number is 267 plus 267, excuse me, plus 1267 648 8012. If this is your first time calling, save those two numbers. Whenever I come on, those will be the two numbers. If you're now here on a Friday, the WhatsApp number will change. But for the most part, those are the two numbers. We will do what we got to do, my people. But this, it is so far that you will have majority of our people living in poverty, hopelessness, and the government even threatening to kill them. The government that they elected. Because they kill your loved one, you can't say nothing. The only time you have the opportunity to say it when you come to America or you found a safe haven. Can you imagine 9 EPS officers, executive protected service personnel run away from Georgia in Europe? They went by to Liberia, they said they're not true, but they're real because family members confirm it. That's how bad the country gone. That is how ugly the country gone. This man that portrays himself as a pastor, as a reverend, he loves his country. He's a peacemaker. Every day, oh, you might not threaten the peace, but his behavior is anti-peace. Every single day. That is the typical Joshua behavior. Okay. Let me pin the number. Maybe I call it, some people will not get it. Oh man, sometimes it is no joke. I'm serious. Sometimes I go ballistic, but sometimes it almost like I can't say anything. But we have to say something. Imagine all the way we're talking. Not just me, but so many people talking. And they are still doing what they're doing. Imagine we don't talk. If we're not talking, imagine what we have in that country. God, have mercy. That's the direct number to call, okay? The WhatsApp number is okay. We are here. We'll keep trying. Yeah. If you want to call, you can call. If you don't want to call, you don't have to. You don't have to. We're not forcing anybody to call. We are appealing to you to share the show, please. Please share the show. Please share the show. We are appealing to you to do so. All right. So while we're waiting for callers to call, let me not keep you guys boring. I'm giving you guys, let me not say anything for now because I don't know what's going to happen. I started late. Let me give you guys, even though I've gone a little far, but let me give you guys a little more time. Let me play this sorrowful gospel song. I'm tired with this war. That's why I want to play it. But we're not going to get tired. We're going to keep talking until we can get an answer. Yeah, until we can get an answer, we're not going to stop talking. We're going to talk.
I'm tired. I'm tired with this ram going back to my phone. am tired with this world. Because this world for the problem. Because this world for the hatredness. Anything you do, it will be against you. My Lord, is in your body, when you told me that you will be coming back. You love the world, that's the why you say I will not be carrying son to die for my sin. Whosoever believe in him shall not perish, but has everlasting life. When are you coming back? The eternal they are fighting. Brother, they say they are fighting.
Yeah, from the song singer.
I am tired. Oh, I am tired. I am tired with this world. I am tired. I am tired with this world. I'm going to my Lord.
So please share the show. Please share the show. Ali Keita, I posted the number already. The number is still there.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands. Come on,
hello,
come on.
But you are calling the wrong number, my brother. Please, can you call the 226? Are you ready to take it? I posted it multiple times, please. This one here is WhatsApp number for folks outside the country. Are you ready? Yeah, I posted it, but it's WhatsApp. Are you ready now? 267 938 2801. That's a direct number to call. Anytime I come on the show, that's a direct number. This one for WhatsApp people, okay? All right, my brother. Sorry about that. My people, you're sorry. I needed to ask that caller. He was calling the wrong number.
Come on. I know you're sleeping now. You're going to wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people sue us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, so the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal.
All right, is it Keita?
I said we tired with their lies.
All right, bro. Keita, go right ahead. I guess you know the topic we're discussing tonight. We're discussing two topics.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you very much, Brother Francis. And I really commend your courage and points that you have been making is just right on, and nobody can say it any better. We are really, really, really grateful, at least it's people like you in our mix that are able to bring things up, and hopefully many of us will follow and actually make the point that need to be driven home. And we cannot just sit by and see this country go really down the drainage, which is almost has started the slippery slope is already started, and hopefully it can be stopped by the prayers of the Almighty God, as you have lamented earlier. Thank you very much, and hopefully, it's not too late. And with God, it's never too late.
Mm-hmm.
Once we genuinely call for the help that we need to save this great nation, Liberia. Thank you very much, brother.
Thank you, my brother, for the call. We appreciate your feedback. We too, we ask our God to keep us going.
Yes.
It's tough, to be honest with you. It is not easy, but it's a good fight. Thank you for the call.
Yes, it's never too late. Starting it is one of the most difficult part. Once it starts, and there will be so many people, like-minded people that will see we could be different in a lot of other ways, but our goal is for the betterment of the country, and whatever that takes must be done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you for your support.
With their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you lie? There's citizens to grieve. See, we just tell you. That's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government you lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not. They don't want to trust. My people don't want to hope on nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the doors that they said they were for? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work, but people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they you got nothing to show, nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock them around. We tired with the promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to grieve? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. When you fool us, you screw us, you use us and little abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not
All right, folks. I want to recognize folks that joined us tonight. I feel very sad. Let me be honest with you. It's just that God keep giving us strength to do what we are doing, because I think it's a worthy cause. When I think about Martin Luther King in this country, when I think about Abraham Lincoln, and think about other folks that advocated for good behavior in this country at the level of the leadership, political leadership, and today America is where it is. I want to see my country like that. We need to change our political hygiene in Liberia. Even if it is not for us, no problem. But at least our next generation can benefit from that. We are not going anywhere. We are not going anywhere. We're just on the seesaw. Growing up, go on the playground, even though there are no official playground in Liberia where I was born and grew up. But we still have our own way of doing that fulcrum there. Your friend will sit on this side, you sit on the other side, they put you all, then you bring it down, then just like that. That's how Liberia is. That seesaw there. That's why it is. We don't go, it doesn't take you anywhere. You go up, you count down, then your friend go up, then I count down. At the end of the day, you all play together, but nobody actually went anywhere. That's how Liberia looking. And nobody is responsible for that. Our political leadership, past and current, responsible. Okay? So, we play 2 songs tonight. I'm tired with this war or with this life from our own Pele sister. And Takunje, everything they say in there, if it's somebody that able to analyze music and get sense out of it, you will get to know. The typical behavior of our government officials, our leaders, presidents, past and current, especially from 1980 to today, you expected people like Ellen Johnson said it, to refer to university students as hooligans. Somebody who advocated throughout her life for social and economic political justice. You expected people like, even though he has no background in there, but people like Josh Weah to order the brutality of students on that campus just because they use the constitutional cross that call for fundamental rights. And he used his COP-CDC surrogate with our tax data pickup and brutalized them on camera on Independence Day, July 26th. And today, University of Liberia veteran community put together and got that boy and the rest of the guy and send them abroad. Where they are, even though we do what we do, we don't know their whereabouts. Martin Colley, just because of saying the truth on his graduation day, trying to arrest that boy. Fundamental right guaranteed by our Constitution. We thought this government is supposed to be the people's government. country first and its people. It is not the case. Sometimes it creeps on my body. Human being is extremely wicked. Sometimes when you look at the wickedness of people, especially in our public space, probably I prefer a dog, D-O-G, because your dog will protect you. And these animals that call themselves government officials, including George Weah, they are animals, probably animals even better than some of them. Because animals that you treat, they behave better. They treat you, nicely. You get out, they come to, they come to work on you. Like those of us that live in America, we got our neighbors that keep dogs. Some of them got 2, some of them got 3. Just because of our relationship with them, even the dog made friends with us. I go to do my piece of job. That dog will come and welcome me just because I went there. Because I'm always there. The government is supposed to protect us. The leaders of our government should not be commissioning people deaf outside judicial system. It is wrong. It was wrong yesterday. It is wrong today. You don't have to like me. Just like the truth. Forget about me and you. I'm nobody. But those people that the government, George Weah commissioned that are deaf in that brutal manner, they didn't deserve to die the way they died. They didn't die on their own. Besides our God, the number one person that's supposed to provide protection for everybody in Liberia, it is the president through the government. Because we pay them. And we elected them to do just that. They are not doing it. They sit on some talk show eating. And the moderator got to tell them, no, we don't eat on our show like that. You're disrespecting us. Y'all listen to the Sun Singer. Y'all listen to Takun J. They screwed us. They abuse us. They mess with us. The other Sun Singer say, I'm tired with this life. Because of the wickedness of my people. My government. The people are surrounding my political rights too. They are so wicked. They are so cruel-minded. They are so barbaric. I'm tired. The Sun Singer said. But my people, those of you that came tonight, let me recognize you. Even though the Sun Singer says so, but everybody not going to get tired. Folks that took on to social, economic, and political justice advocacies, other part of the world, especially America. I live here. I went to school in Liberia. I went to school here. I learned about other countries, but you know what? I'm not giving you that. I'm just giving you America and Liberia. I'm still reading, to be honest with you. The little time I get, I read. And try to put it in context to come and say to you and give it to you. Okay? Tambakenema, our first sister, probably now. Okay. Tambakenema was the first person to join us tonight. We want to say thank you for joining us and please share the show. Even after the show, you can share it, my people. Kwamoru, thank you for joining us. Our sister Masa Rich, as always, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time and your support. Falatera, thank you for joining us. Giorgio Denix, thank you for joining us. All right. My own sister here, Teresa Camo, thank you for joining us. Yeah, everybody, thank you. All right. Sylvester, thank you for joining us tonight. All right. Yeah, you are right. This is the reasons why our country is going nowhere. Okay, that is true. That is fair enough. Mm-hmm. You asked me whether I got evidence that you didn't. You were still inside, my brother. At least I welcome you, Sylvester. You are welcome on the platform. We're not going to block you. You get your right to come. You get your right to stay away. And you get your right to say whatever you want to say, my brother. Trust me. This play is not a play where we block people. No. Keep coming. James Yakendo. Probably that Kisini, I can't pronounce it well. I'm just sorry, your uncle from Texas. Thank you for coming tonight. My own friend and brother, Vanny Kerry from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area. Thank you for joining us. And we appreciate your support following us. Gabriel, thank you for joining us. Emmanuel Kukui, thank you for joining us. Emmanuel said I should go to Freedom FM. Probably they're saying something there. I need to go take a nap. Yeah, this day I don't sleep. I just take a nap. All right. Okay. Sylvester. All right. Again, thank you. Terran, Heron, thank you for watching. Moses Louis, thank you for watching and thank you for following us. We appreciate your time. Chalisha, Laurie, thank you. Yeah. My own big mama, Rebecca Topa, thank you. Mama Rebecca, Ali Keita, you call us tonight. Just keep the number. If this was your first time, keep the number. If this was your second or whatever time, just keep the number. Those numbers are constant once I'm here by myself, okay? T. Samuel Faya, thank you for joining us. All right. All right, Lydia G. Kennedy, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate your support, all right? Okay. Bele Pimba, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your support. Yeah, my brother, we got to do what we got to do. Yeah, JD Doyu, thank you. Yeah. All right, so far so good. Paul Jebo, oh my buddy from Iowa, thank you very much for joining us, and we appreciate your support as well. Okay, so far so good. I think that's it. Yeah, I just wanted to do that at least so that I can encourage you guys to keep sharing the show. Please, I beg you, share the show even when the show is over. It will still go. Please share the show. Let us get as many as we can. Mobile Reed, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your support. Thomas Doe Jr., thank you for watching. From West Point Township, zone number 5, thank you. Yeah, okay. All right. AB is okay, just so you know. AB is all right. We live in America. Sometimes people want to change career and in training. So after the training, I'm hoping we'll be on the set together so that we can do the way we usually do it. But in the meantime, some people coming to class late. Bill, you are late today. You will pay fine, okay? Bill, you are late. All right, so Blama Duno, my own little brother from Liberia. Blama, you need to call me after I close the show. We need to talk, okay? Please, if you're listening to me. You need to call me. Good morning. All right, I got you, my brother. Please give me a call. After the show, I'm already done. So, my people, you thank you plenty, yeah? But all we can say, in the midst of everything we are doing, we need to pray for our country. We need to ask God to join us to deliver our country. I know our old man have been praying. Our old people, they've been praying, but we need to join them to pray with much more sincerity and honesty. Everything we're doing is gonna inside, it will be hard to work. Those of our Christian brothers and sisters, they say faith without work is a dead faith. And also work without faith is a dead work too. Okay? So all of us got to amalgamate forces to get these indigenous looters out. And I'm very sure, I'm the strongest conviction that we're going to succeed. We can see it on the walls. George Weah going to be one-term president just like Donald Trump. Even though Donald Trump ain't reached to a level because nobody's still in this country. If you still, you corrupt the system that will follow you. In as much as Joe Biden is doing what he got to do, the Department of Justice is investigating the way he handled classified documents, even though his people at his house, private house, saw it and they turned it over to the right people. Donald Trump has been referred by Congress for criminal investigation. Former president of the United States. He was a sitting president when the government, the Department of Justice, represent the people, not president. The army don't represent the president. The army represent the people, the state. And people, you get it straight. This is not just WEAH'S story. The Constitution talk about it too. The army do not represent the president. They represent the state. And why do they represent the state? Because the state consists of the people. Hey God, we can't bring elementary civic here for your Igimba. This thing is not about personality, it is about the state. I know somebody want to ask, why the man is CRC? CRC is for the purpose of leadership. That's all that is about. It is for the purpose of leadership. Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. That's all that is about. You think Biden can call the soldier to come encroach on us? No, that's what the state got police. No, can't do that. All right? Bill, man, don't worry about that, man. Sorry, Chief. Bill, you good, man? My brother, myself, sitting out here, I got to drink coffee. They work. We'll do it. We will do it. All we want you to do, my people, you share the show. We can't be watching live, and that number is more than the number of share. We got to do it the Jehovah Witness way. Even when you share with 5 people, say, if each one share 1, and we are 200 here, you already got 400. That's how it is. Because not everybody going to open the door. Not everybody going to watch the show at that moment. But eventually they're going to, because I see it on my phone, it pop on my phone. By the time I get done with this before my real daylight, tomorrow 6 a.m. my time, we're already to 4,000 or 5,000 views. In real time. It's technology. All right? Don't feel discouraged. Don't feel depressed. Okay? We need to ask God to join us in this fight. That's how we need to do it. Okay, my people? I thank you plenty, yeah? The song singer say, now the 9 day for rule, 1 day for master. That day is not too far. George Weah and his indigenous looters days are numbered. Those of you that went on Facebook yesterday, Liberian time, you saw it. University students boo at Joel, the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, and they call her by her name, Hobojo Taylor. Tiffy, roll. Tiffy, roll. That's a real Liberian way. When the people tired with you, my people, they're tired with you. I don't care whether they get weapon, they not get no weapon. When the people tired, that verbal attack got plenty explanation. The people are tired. Too many people angry. The pen boss are angry. The keke boss are angry. The driver in the traffic, they are angry. The people that are walking on the sidewalk, pedestrian, everybody angry in the country. I'm not speaking out of emotion. I was there a few months ago. We can't keep the country like that. And that's why the people start to vent out. That's why. Even the dog that living with you, as good as animal is like dog, D-O-G. You cannot push them too long. You push them too much, they will fight back because they got teeth. That is where we are now. And that's not a good sound for them. When Taylor say, when your man born, you go get on the street, where is it today? When Samuel Kayando said, when two elephants fight that the grass can suffer, where is it today? George Weah and indigenous looters' days are numbered. And we can see the signs on the wall. Don't even worry about Joseph Akai. They're going to go. They will go, my people. We saw it before and we see it again. You think it plenty. Have a nice sleep. Good morning, good night, good afternoon, depending where you are. Bye-bye. Appreciate your support.